Yeah, these are all family homes and stuff, and Antoine's grandfather lived right there, and you know, stepmother stayed down there, and they got together, and you know, this whole big old family then, and we all just, the kids all just played together. They all grew up together, and it was fun seeing all of them to grow up together.
Did you ever envision when Antoine was a little guy that he would grow up to have the success that he's having right now?
I'm very proud of Antoine. He knows that. I'm very proud of him. Very proud of him.
Me and his mother, Sandra Albert, is very close. We're actually 11 months apart in birth. I grew up with Antoine all my life. I've always taken care of Antoine. Like I said, I used to live with Antoine and his sisters and his mother, and we just did things together. And I've actually technically watched Antoine physically grow up to be a nice gentleman. He was always into sports. He didn't like to clean up too much, but he always talk about sports. And so, but I'm proud to hear Antoine where he went to DVC and on his way to Cal. You know, I'm proud of Antoine. I'm just grateful to have a nephew like him. You know, watching him grow up as a nice young man.
You know, it just kind of fits who Antoine is, that he's going to UC Berkeley. He's a young man that his entire life, you know, came out of a tough area, and you know, there's always challenges that go along with that. There's always challenges when you come to a college for anyone. Challenges for a young man with a speech impediment. And you kind of put all of those together, and you've got Antoine. And he's a young man that came in and didn't shy away from any of the classes. As a matter of fact, you know, we set guys up to take all the right classes to get them where they want to go. But on his own, he signed up for a speech class. His first semester here, just kind of wanting to fight that challenge. Yeah, and it's kind of who he is as a football player. Not afraid to, you know, whatever you put in front of him. But he did the same thing in the classroom, and he's willing to put in the work to overcome whatever challenges there are. We sat right here at this table every single Friday. He and I, just about every single Friday, going through the week's work and what he had coming up, what he'd been doing, and you know, just taking steps like that, meeting with teachers, meeting with the resources here on our campus, just whatever he had to do to be successful.
In high school, I was always like kind of like easing my way past, I had did the very CB range work. Like I ain't put as much effort as I am now in school, because I realize that school always about to stick with. That's always is about to stick like with you, like past sports, and that was a huge thing when I signed, because it's to play or no, yeah, it is to play and go to school at a I would say the top school in like ever. Like it is huge. Well,
now,
when he's early, I think probably because of the speech issue, he might have was in the shell a little bit. But once he started coming out of it, when he realized the talent that he had. With the grade issue, it's probably a little too late there, but the talent-wise picked up, so he had to go to the JC route because of the grades. And once to now, he's just confident. I mean, there's nothing you can tell him, but that's how we train. We train the kids for life. So any situation you go through, whether it's school, whether it's sports, you got to be trained for life to handle any situation. And that's how we train the kids. And he's one of the kids that took it, embraced it,
He was an outstanding student athlete here at Oakland Tech. He was one of the hardest workers on the team. At first, we couldn't understand him. I went and met his family. He comes from an outstanding family. The teachers here at Oakland Tech really work with Antoine. It's just a miracle, and I'm so proud of him being at the University of California. He's a great young man, outstanding citizen. He'll do wonders at Cal. I'm just so proud and happy I had the opportunity to work with him.
Since being at DVC, can you talk about the strides you've made working with a speech therapist and how you've been able to adjust and make progress in that process?
At school, I had to make huge strides. Like my head coach always told me that school is very important, that I would need to pass my classes like to get where I want to go. And also to learn, like as a man, it really helps me.
So you've been able to get the grades up higher at DVC and have the opportunity to qualify at a school like Cal that raised their academic standards recently, so that's no small accomplishment.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you see in your future academically and athletically now you're making that next step?
Academically, like academically, I can see we always just going higher and higher and higher because now I realize that school like is very important, and no one can take away your education. And sports wise, like I think that I can always play more, like I can get faster, stronger, all that in the mind. I can, right? It always can, like I can see me all improving by a huge step, and that's how. That's what.
You know what? A good kid, worked hard. Just took him a while to mature. Some kids are a little slower developers. His learning disability set him back a little bit, and then once he started growing and seeing his self-esteem grow, it made him a better kid, a better football player, and a better student.
Good. And you coached Marshawn Lynch back in the day, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's been a little while since him and Virdell came over to Cal, and now Antoine's sort of reestablishing the pipeline. Is it good to see that happening again?
You know what? Whenever they can, as long as they go to school. I don't care if it's Cal, UCLA, wherever. That's the beautiful one. Plus, it gives us a chance to go watch him at Cal. So, I mean, and plus we could give him that moral support he needs because of the club. That was one of the reasons we picked Cal, because of the family support. And if he has difficulties at Cal, we can always be there for him. You know?
Is Antoine the kind of guy that you can point back to and say, look, he overcame the challenges, set your sights on the right things, and you can get it done too?
Yeah, I mean, he used to get frustrated a lot of times. But I mean, I'm kind of proud of him because he didn't give up. He's one of those kind of kids that's persistent on stuff, and he's gonna nag you until you get it. You know.
What about him?
That's a good part.
Antoine, I mean, that was our boy, one of our proteges. His signature, he's always locked down. And you watch Twan, he'll cross him up, lock down, and we go man to man. I'll call him zone, and he look aside like Coach Stale, locked down. You know, with his difficulties, he knew how to say that with no problem. And we switch up the defense, and it's just amazing where he came from to home. He had all the skills, and once he put it together, coming out of high school, even with the junior college, and now in Cal, it's just a blessing just to watch him now. And he's so excited, you know. It's just, man, I can't describe it.
He's a unique young man in a lot of different ways, including athletically. He's a young man that with the skills that he possesses, with how physical he is, you know, we were able, as a freshman, we played him as a Sam backer over a tight end at times. We played him as a defensive end in one of our schemes where we needed some more athleticism as well as toughness. You know, he's got the skill set to become a safety. You know, with the schemes that a lot of teams are using nowadays, he could be a slot defender and, you know, force the run and play the flat, and blitz off the edge. And then what we used him for a lot, just being that big physical corner, loves to press. Great upper body, lower body independence, where he's able to use his hands and still keep his hips and feet ready to, you know, turn and go. Just a real unique player that can fill a lot of different roles for